Kia ora, kia ora. What's up, everybody? Robett Hollis. Kia ora, everybody. Robett Hollis here. Welcome to Robett Live. Robett Live. Live at 5. Live at 5. Hope your day was rolling. I hope you smashed it. Hope you did some productive things. Hope you've learned some cool shit. And back at it again. Today, I want to talk about life chess. I've always, rappers always talk about chess, not checkers. 5 moves ahead. You do this, I do that, blah. It's like, no, trying to be smarter about it. One of the things when I was thinking about recently is how did I get into the game of chess or life chess? Now, this is more of an earlier thing of what I learned earlier in my life that I've kind of carried it through, but not many people know. I was I don't know if I was officially in the chess club, but I would go. I didn't compete or anything, but I flipping loved it. When I was at high school, I got into chess, and then now in life, I call this life chess. Like each thing's a move. When people do something, I'm like, okay, that's a pawn moving there. Why? What's the next thing happening? Someone makes a business transaction. Someone does a merger and acquisition over here. Someone does a whatever the thing may be. I always then think about why do they do that? What's the next play? What's the 5 move ahead? And when they talk about chess champions being able to do like 5, 10, 20 moves ahead, whatever it is. That shit's crazy. You don't even think about that stuff, but it's like, oh, what are these moves and why they mean, that relationship doing there or this partnership here or whatever it is. And not that you're getting totally like over analytical in it. I've got to shift this out of the way. You can see today's word of the day, BGC. Why they do that. And I want to tell you a story about how I really learned early about life chess. Like life chess is simple as a relationship that you do now for someone, not realizing that in like 10 years time, that person might be the person that helps you out, or you're the person that can then help someone else out, and the paths cross over and whatever. And what I've realized, and known obviously now is, and I already knew it then, you'll be surprised where everything crosses back over. So don't burn bridges today for what you may need in the future. And when you can build up a platform over years to then help others, you should do the same. But this is a bit of a props around chess specifically. So when I was at Aranui High School, there was an English teacher named Mr. Stephen Coates. Now, Mr. Coates was such a flipping good bastard, and I still remember him to this day. And if you're out there, Mr. Coates, you'll be proud of your boy. Look, man, I made it. He was a South Island chess champion. So I think someone's trying to get into my office. Hello? Wait there one sec. I think someone's trying to break into the office. Wait there. Wait. Where's my knife? Wait, legit? Wait up. Literally, someone's trying to get into. I'm gonna have to watch this back. So I have my headphones on. Someone's trying to get into the flipping studio. I think. Anyway, all right. So, could you imagine? I'm flipping going on live, and I was like, jeez. See, I don't know. See, that's what happens when I'm gonna have one headphone here just in case. If it is, it's about to get active. You can take the boy out of Aranui. So bad. So bad. About to flip and go stab a dude. If they were about to come in, she's about to, no, like it was, they were trying to like Jimmy Brett. Anyway, I digress. But let's get prepared for anything just in case. I'll keep this right here, just in case. Mr. Coates, Aranui, he was South Island chess champion. He could play 30 people at the same time at once in chess, and he could play 5 people blind at the same time. So he could also speak like 7 languages. And what he would do is, it's pretty funny. He could speak all these languages because we were such little badasses, or some of the class were badasses. When he was pissed off with us, he would start full abusing us or swearing at us in like Chinese or German or Spanish or flipping. He knew Japanese as well. I knew a little bit of Japanese too, so I could like pick out his kind of calling us assholes. It was incredible, right? And he was so good, and this is just props for an early teacher. Actually, name below, who was the best teacher of your entire life and what impact did they have on you? Comment below, give him some props. Maybe even take a minute. Who was the greatest teacher that you had? Comment below, do it. He was so good when we learned about debating. He got us understanding. He said, okay, cool. 4 on this side, against on this side. You're going to stand in the middle. You're going to try and sway everyone in the room, and they're going to stand on one side or the other. So he stands up first, and he basically says no to abortion, does this insanely intellectual speech. Everyone pisses, like the whole class just goes to the side. Boom. And then he goes back and forth and leave a few other people. Then he stands back up. He does the opposite argument for yes of why you should be able to have abortion. And everyone goes that side. And it's like, what? But his point was, it was the power of the word. It was power of articulation. It was the power of like argument and formulating arguments or things or whatever it may be. And I always really impressed it. Like he would he did a $20 bet in the middle of town, in the middle of the main school hall for anyone to come and try and beat him. He set up a big square, and at lunchtime he just went around just steamroll flipping everyone. Just, and one of my guys, Hidden Patel, who got into it, started doing good. But he also was so classic. He once told us that he did a 2-year apprenticeship to be a flagpole painter. And we believed him. Like, I can't make this shit up. He told us that he trained for 2 years to paint flagpoles, and we all believed him. He was that good. He's probably taking the piss out of us, which he obviously was, but it was incredible. So anyway, the props I need to come back to is he would always talk about, like, he'd be in lunchtime marking works. You'd have your chess set in front of you. You'd be making your moves, and you'd be saying, oh, like pawn from E2 to E4. And he'd be like, cool. My pawn from E8 to E6 or whatever, E7 to E7 to E5. So he'd be going this way. And so he would, in his brain, while he's marking results, would be playing you blind while he can't see your board, while you're looking at your board, making your moves and telling him what moves you're making. So he could like see different worlds. It's flipping nuts. But what I learned from him early, and I was only, 11, 12, 13, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, was how he would think. And how he would think would be, he would like see it as a chessboard which each move and play. And I give him so much credit to Mr. Coates, boss dogger, was his ability to be able to use the mind as a weapon, and a weapon for good, to be able to really think through strategic things and plays of how it all plays out. And one of the ones that I've taken from that specifically has been around like playing emotional chess with how things are going to play out in the real world, from how you can read energy of people now. So what I mean by that is from the energy that someone could have he would sort of basically teach you how to think about how in their mind, for them to have that energy, what are their beliefs? What are they thinking? Where are they wanting to go? What are their key drivers? Like kind of like really psychological shit. But when you find out those drivers, then you can figure out what's making them tick, what's making them want to try and do things, what's making them whatever it is. So within business particularly, and I've done this a couple of times, and a good friend of mine, I'll sort of pre-predict what I think is going to happen. Like, they're trying to make this move here, but I think those two guys are going to have a big dick swinging contest between them to see who's the biggest alpha in the room. And I think that's going to eventually do some bad stuff and this and that. And so I could see it, and it'll be like, it'll probably happen in like, month 6. And then this is probably going to happen. And, it'd be like months out. But basically I could pre-predict people's energy by realizing what their intentions and drivers were, to figure out if that's my headspace, what they will do action wise, and then how that manifests itself. Right. And so I know it's got a bit of a long, complicated way to say it, but what I really learned from playing chess early on when I was younger was the ability to try to see 1 or 2 moves out, to try and see where the energy and momentum in the industry is going, where opportunity might be potentially commercially, how people may or may not interact. And when you can see the playbook a little bit, it's by no means means that you're going to win 100%. All it's saying is you're going to have a higher percentage chance of understanding what's going on, what may happen, and what you could potentially do about it. So to Mr. Coates, my man, I really appreciate, getting me into chess early. Now I call it life chess. Like all this shit is life chess. The way I think about this, robett live at 5, whatever I'm doing, is, you know, nuggets that I potentially give today. It gets it out of my brain, which makes it feel better for me, and it's therapeutic just to flip and get it out of me. Secondly, it could create a digital thumbprint or a footprint or a digital breadcrumb of an idea or something which you may or may not have thought about, which can potentially add value to you now, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, 40 years in time. Like, people don't think about this. And I've said this for years now. I'll keep saying it. The stuff that we do now, my children's children are going to be looking and saying, oh, Facebook was a thing. Oh, this LinkedIn thing was a, oh, content. What? That's my great dad talking shit about Headspace. What the fuck? Like, what? Like, this is happening now because everything's going to be digitized and documented forever. So the moves you're making now, especially when it's going to be digital. So there, and that's me for the done. So I apologize for about to go in street. Dude, like I straight up. Oh, Robett. You can take the boy out of Aranui, but you can't take the chess learning. I was about to go get the hood shit because someone was straight trying to jimmy out the main lock at the front behind the, because you can't see what I'm seeing, but it's all like blocked off. So if you were trying to do what they were trying to do, they were clearly trying to get in. So away, hang out. Okay. Have a good day, team. Comment below. Who was your favorite school teacher? What did they teach you? What did you learn specifically? I learned chess and long game from Mr. Goats. Thank you. Have a good day, team.